All right, everybody. Welcome back to the PRPL Podcast. This is your host, Austin. Looking forward to it tonight. We are here on, once again, a different night than we have ever recorded before. We are coming to you live on a Wednesday this time, making it work one way or another. So this is also our 10th episode together as the Sad Sacks.
Oh, look at that. I didn't realize.
We never really got into the origin story of the Sad Sacks. And to be honest, there really isn't much of an origin story. It's just a self-proclaimed name. That's all it is. We like the ring of it. Unless Griffin has something else that he wants to say about the Sad Sacks and what it all is here.
I don't know if I could say that. I do think that there are some ultimate plans with that branding and kind of title, I suppose. But yeah, maybe nothing more to add right now. I think Sad Sacks movie reviews, that's kind of what's up right now.
That's right. Mikey. Hello, Mikey. How you doing?
Hey, back on the mic with you guys.
Back on the mic. Mike was a little cold. I had to get him a hoodie, some merchandise, you know.
He's swagged out.
He's swagged out. He's looking good. As he always does, though.
And Griff, this is one of my movies. So extremely excited about this one.
Well, you've had two in a row since old Phoenician Scheme. Yeah, you're running now.
Oh, yeah, we had to appease the old fella, didn't we?
This is up there in with my list of favorites. Just love this movie.
Which one is it, Mike?
This would be National Treasure, Austin.
And National Treasure, a classic to us, I would say, I guess. One that we were around for when it came out, that being, it was November 19th, 2004.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you looked into anything around that date or surrounding that date. Damn, I just rocked everything. But some notable things that occurred on that date. One being the Malice at the Palace.
No way! You're kidding.
On this date in 2004, the Malice at the Palace.
Dad, do you know what that is?
I'm not certain what Malice at the Palace is.
Tell him what that is.
Tell me what that is.
The Malice at the Palace is the, I guess, giant fight that Ron Artest got in while being at the Pistons.
Now I know what you're talking about.
He was at the Pacers, wasn't he?
Artest was at the Pacers.
He was with the Pistons, like that Jermaine O'Neal team. Was Reggie Miller? Reggie Miller was on the team, I think, as well for the Pacers at that point. And
he might have been if he hadn't retired just yet.
I know Ben Wallace was on the Pistons then.
Oh yeah,
and they got into the stands. That whole kind of debauchery. It was crazy. Probably would be the worst fight in NBA history, I'd say.
Wow. Well, that's so crazy you mentioned that because I remember seeing that on SportsCenter that day and being like, "Whoa, that was crazy looking." And then my dad and I, we actually ended up going to National Treasure. We probably didn't go on the opening day, so I bet it was a different one, but. Sure. It was all pretty closely related. And Dad, you mentioned when we decided we were going to do National Treasure, like, can you believe it's been 21 years now? Almost 21 years. You said it's November, but 20 years alone. Can you believe this movie is that old at this point, Dad?
Absolutely not. So that would have put you what?
I was in kindergarten.
Griffin would have been 7 years old. Probably
Griffin would have just turned 7.
That's crazy.
I would have just turned 6 a month prior.
Well, I know I took him this movie. Again, I probably was not Father of the Year that year either.
This is a Disney movie.
But
this
is such a winner. And Griffin, I think we did go to one of the first week. You know how I am. We went the first week. I was so excited. Guys, I'm such a Nicolas Cage fan that who can go wrong when you put Nicolas Cage in a movie, guys?
Well, I'd say there's probably a lot of ways it can go wrong.
Oh, my goodness. Come on now.
Well, that's funny you say that, though, Austin, because I feel like there really has been this renaissance for Nick Cage and just appreciation for his work. I know that he was recently in that movie with Pedro Pascal. I can't remember what it was called, actually, but I think I watched it on services. But I feel like people, it was almost like the Creed thing where people were clowning on him for so long, but he's the guy you love to clown on. People just are obsessed with the guy.
Well, a lot of the reasons why this movie works is because of, whatever he brings to the table. And the thing is, he has made really good movies. My point being with Nicolas Cage is he's this guy that's known to really dial that fucker up and overact, and just be crazy. I mean, talking about The Wicker Man, if you've seen Kick-Ass, one that I mentioned to you guys earlier in the week, he's a father, and at some point he's burning alive, and you can only imagine the Nick Cage noises that come out when that happens. So he's a funny actor. He's had a funny career, but hell, he's had a ton of success too.
My gosh. Of course.
Oh yeah. Some more kind of notes on that moment in time, what was going on back then. I like kind of looking at the music, what was happening then as well. So I got something here. The number one song in the U.S. was My Boo by Usher and Alicia Keys.
Oh,
Also around that list is Drop It Like It's Hot with Snoop Dogg, Over and Over, Nelly and Tim McGraw.
Oh,
so one that we take
crazy.
too. So She Will Be Loved, Maroon 5, won't keep on going down it, but some classics in its own right there. And then in terms of the domestic box office, what was going on at the movie theater back then? National Treasure was at the top of it.
There it is.
The same day, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie releases as National Treasure. So that's sitting at number 2. I don't think The Incredibles did not come out the same day, but was on the box office then, Polar Express. So some big names there too. Fun to kind of look into what was going on back in that time there.
Amazing. And Dad, do you actually remember do you remember finding out that this movie was happening? Kind of being an adult at the time. I'd love to hear do you remember it being really marketed or what was the deal with that?
Griffin, anything that has adventure, and then what's the thing that always gets your dad?
History.
Of course, guys. I mean, parents, I'll say this. This movie was so exciting for me because, we get to see the Declaration of Independence. We get to see the North Church, in Boston. I took my family. We went to Washington, D.C. We toured. We got to see the Declaration. We went to Boston as well. I drug my mother and father-in-law along as well. I mean, I'm taking pictures by the Old North Church. I'm posing like I'm Nicolas Cage.
Guys, when you went on that trip, you were kind of purposely vicariously living the Nicolas Cage National Treasure experience.
Well, and the funny thing is that was during the summer of 2006.
Oh wow!
So
pretty soon after.
It was pretty fresh off the movie being out. Well, so my dad liked it that much.
Yeah, the sequel hadn't even came out yet. That's how soon after that was.
I'm telling you guys, and we're watching the movie on the big screen here, and you've got Riley Poole, you got Diane Kruger that plays Abigail Chase. I mean, guys, the cast is phenomenal in this one. Harvey Keitel, you got Sean Bean. Yeah. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of great character actors. There were a lot of I mean, it is. Nicolas Cage does not have to carry this movie, but he does he does a phenomenal job.
He does carry this movie. He does have a great cast around him too, like the core trio that we end up with him, Abigail, and Riley. That's why they were able to make a second movie, because probably how just good they were. I mean, these movies were great box office successes, even though they didn't necessarily review well critically.
And guys,
let's give it up for John Voight as well. We can't. Forget.
Oh, Griff, I got him on the list. So
there's a couple of those fellas in there too. Eric King, who just plays one of the small agents in it at some point when he's on the shipping yard or whatever, when he jumps off I guess it's a battleship of some sort. He's the guy in Dexter who does the surprise motherfucker. You know that super memed thing? Him, Mark Pellegrino, who plays just one of the FBI guys, was also in Dexter, was also in Stranger Things, 13 Reasons Why is one of the fathers. Just small little roles where you saw him. And then at the very beginning, you got fucking Bucky Kentucky from Hannah Montana.
What is his name? Jason Earls?
Jason Earls,
where I knew him from.
Hannah Montana.
That's him, man.
Oh, absolutely. He's in the very beginning. He's in the very, he plays Thomas.
He's their ancestor. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Thomas.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So where do we want to begin, fellas, talking about this movie?
Austin, it was 1832. I mean, guys, I mean, this is so exciting to me.
That guy's got a great voice.
I love, you all missed it. Who did we not talk about? How about Christopher Plummer?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy.
What do you know him from, Mike? Because my only experience that I can pull off the top of my head was the recent Knives Out movie where he's the grandfather who, I guess, Ana de Armas mixes up the drugs or thinks that she does and kills the guy at the beginning and starts the whole thing in motion. I don't know if you guys have seen Knives Out or not, but that's a great one.
I've seen one of them. I think I saw the second one, though.
Yeah, Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Austin, I'd have to look it up. Christopher Plummer's been in everything. I mean, you name it, he's been in it. So, yeah, I'll try to, while we're going through, I'll try to bump that up.
Yeah, you could pull that on over here.
Yeah.
But man, it starts off, you have that, as we kind of mentioned, another attic scene. We're on another treasure hunt, fellas. We're going right back to it, and we got another attic full of relics where we begin this story and kind of set what this movie is going to be about. Of course, the treasure, the Templar treasure. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. And then we jump to present day where he's come to find this Charlotte, that icy roll. What did you guys think of Ian as a villain?
Oh, well, it's funny. I was talking to my dad earlier this week, Austin, and I was saying that, wow, I had never seen the movie quite the same as I did when I watched it just a couple of days ago. It was like, wow, coming in with a more mature, just older perspective, it's like, whoa, it was almost more difficult. I don't want to say it was more difficult to villainize him, but I kind of saw all of these moments where maybe like him being the bad guy was a little bit more. What are you guys doing?
I'm getting him into my computer. Just spacebar and enter, Mike. One thing that I never picked, spacebar and enter. Press the spacebar and then hit enter. He's typing spacebar.
Dad, give it up. It doesn't matter that much.
Well, I got great notes.
We've moved on.
I've got great notes. Oh no, I've already got that pulled
Ian,
up.
One thing that I didn't recognize when I was younger is that he was kind of backing this whole thing monetarily. I didn't recognize that element of it, and that's how they came to be acquainted.
Yeah.
It's just something that never really struck a chord, or I never really understood or thought about. It's funny when you watch these movies that you've seen so many times. You almost like halfway watch it in a way. Like there's just things you don't even pay attention to or recognize.
Well, we were younger too, to where some of those higher concepts we just weren't picking up on them. I mean, because the thing that got me was when he said, "Hey Ben, in another life I did some shadier things. I have connections. I can make this happen." And he was inviting Ben to be in on the group. And I felt like it was a bit more, it wasn't like from this real, I guess, deeply rooted evil or something that he was like, okay, we're turning against you now. It was more just, oh, you're not going to help me anymore? I got to get this done.
And Griff, the reason, what happened was he, we all know, again, we talked about history, and we know how this means the world. This is a legacy to Benjamin Franklin Gates here, guys. His father, his grandfather, his grandfather's father. Yeah. I mean, he says that so many times throughout the movie. And when Ian says, we're going to get the Declaration of Independence, we're going to steal it. And at that point, he's like, no, because he didn't know what they were going to do with it. Are they going to damage it? Are they going to hurt it? Because it means more to Ben Gates.
Yeah.
This means this would, it's a sacrament to him. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, you cannot do that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You're definitely on like a scent that I picked up as well, and just how different these quests are to each other. You know, Ian's obviously in this for the money. You know, he wants to get the treasure. He wants to get bankrolled.
He wants the treasure of all treasures. And guys, the way they go about it, you know, it's, you know, Ben, Riley are meticulous. They thought this out. They're doing it without, let's just say, is violence a safe word? I mean, can I say that they were doing it without the violent aspect?
Yeah, well, just look at the heist scene and how Ian's group goes about it. They're blowing shit up, you know, like blasting through things.
They're prying doors open. And then they're shooting people.
Yeah, they tase the guy and just use his fingerprint.
Exactly. And Ben and Riley are going in it in this stealthy fashion with cunning and things like that. And there's also this funny element about this. This is kind of interesting to look at this too, because of just the Declaration of Independence. Ian's British. They're American. There's this British American.
Good
that
for
kind
you.
of funny.
Good for you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, and his crew is European as well, as far as I can tell. I don't know about Shaw, but everyone else.
I don't know how purposeful that was, but it's a kind of interesting dynamic that when you're searching for something to kind of pull out of the film, I mean, that's right on the money, isn't it?
It does make sense. That is funny, though. It really
is.
Guys,
Sean Bean, you know, the question Austin asked was Sean Bean a good, you know, was he a good bad guy? I think he was awesome in this. He pulls that character. I mean, you dislike him, but guess what? In some ways, you're going, that cat's kind of cool. I mean, he is kind of cool.
Well, Ben says it himself in it that he's a smart guy. He's got some swagger to him. He's got some power to him. He's got it. He's got it in some ways.
And Abigail says later on, "Hey, we need somebody that knows the ins and outs of being a bad guy, really." Yeah. And she says, "Hey, we know Ian."
Yep, we know Ian.
And she reaches out to him to help Ben out.
Yeah, funny thing about that actor is he's always dying in everything that he's in. That's what
Lord of the Rings,
Game of Thrones, Ned Stark. So he's always dying. This one he makes it through, but I guess he ends up in jail. And that's
someone's got to go to jail, Ben.
Someone's got to go.
No, someone's got to go to prison.
Yeah,
to prison. That's it.
Oh,
the Iron Pin.
Oh, wow. Guys, you know what? I was just, that's why I was worried to death I wasn't going to I have so many notes. There are so many one-liners in this. Just, we just saw the scene where Ben, he finds Charlotte. And how he finds it is he takes that pickaxe and he hits into.
Didn't have to dig all too far.
Yeah,
no, he didn't. Yeah, no, he didn't. And Austin, when he cleared the way, it immediately said Charlotte right there.
He
for
poured
him.
the water. He knew it'd be.
And there. Griffin, when he hits that nameplate, do you remember the line that he said? And it just
is it hello beautiful?
Oh that's my boy. Yes, when he says hello beautiful, that starts the movie off to me. It's like here we go. Oh, I'm so pumped.
And kind of backtracking a little bit, Austin, like that scene in the attic with young Ben and his grandfather, I think it's a pretty awesome scene. Like you said, it establishes everything. They go back in history, just kind of showing how the treasure has accumulated over the centuries and changed hands and just the tremendous history behind all of it. And then you even see his dad come up with his kind of negative view toward all of it. Obviously, he's been burned by all of it.
Yeah, I guess he just got done with his 20 years, and he's probably fresh on that divorce. So
he lost his wife over this.
Yeah,
we find out in the second one, by the way.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I think it's a great way to start off the movie, though. It really it shows you where that passion came from, and I don't know. That's just what you get the rest of the movie too.
Yeah. Griffin, it shows that Ben dedicated his life to go after this treasure. I mean, they give a list of his accomplishments of what, it's, what's his name? Sandusky says, he goes, oh, this guy did this. He did underwater this, he did this. And he goes, what do you think that guy wanted to do with his life? You know?
Yeah.
I really, and again, Sandusky's, he does a phenomenal job in this.
Yeah, he's a great actor. One thing about that Arctic scene that I like is that's the first time that we get one of the Ben Gates-isms, you know, yes, it was this, the Declaration of Independence. You know, that whole kind of monologue, you know, where we first see him I guess, is it deducing? Is that a fucking word? I know.
Yeah, he's just thinking through everything. Oh, well, how would it? Well, yeah. That whole scene. What is it? It was an invisible. Or how's it? Silence.
Iron pin. It's not the pin. It's what they pinned. Yeah.
What was the thing he said? It was like firm or something. He's like, it meant this actually. All of that crazy
it's
stuff.
Resolute.
Yeah, it's resolute.
Yeah, resolute.
Yeah,
Lovely.
But the thing is, it does pump you up still. And I mean, what got me was we had mentioned this is a Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
There were dead bodies. That kind of threw me off a little bit, you know, like, and I know it's just, you know, it wasn't anything graphic, but it's like, damn, they're just showing like dead bodies here in the ship and all that stuff. And I was like, that, you know, it's a little bit more mature than maybe you think when you see Disney.
And that's a thought of the times, of course. You know, we're in this world where it's like, oh gosh, is that something that fucking people are going to get pissed off about? And
that's fair.
mean, but you do think about it, and absolutely, it's when you consider it, and you have to think like, what kind of impact did that have on me? I'd like to think it really wasn't anything terrible, but
then are they in the North Church, Dad? When they open that one, they break open that kind of panel and then they bring out the coffin and the body falls right through.
They say, don't step in them.
I think that's at the Trinity Church in New York.
Oh,
Church.
yeah.
What's the guy's name? They say it's under or whatever. It's on. His name's like P something, and they figure
Parkington.
Yeah,
Lane. Parkington Lane.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Guys, something else I would just want to point out, see if you all notice this. You know, the music in this, just how dramatic it gets, and it pulls back, it pulls you in, it pulls you back. The music tells the story.
The score is great.
You know, the secret lies with sharp boom boom boom.
The score is great.
It's you know the captain. He's got his arm on the barrel. Why does he have boom boom?
Well, and it's really distinct as well. I think you know, I haven't watched this movie in probably like 10 years, but I'll say watching it this past go, I thought it was phenomenal. It was even better than I had remembered it, and I remembered all of the music. It locked me in, and it was so damn good, man.
Yeah, they say the score of a movie is the heartbeat of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's entirely true with this one as well. And the moment that sticks to me, or that's just calling to me right now, is when they finally made it to the treasure room. Ian's down there with
I was thinking the same thing.
And he's on that elevator, and you're like, oh God, he's left our gang to die. We're cooked. And then they're like, then they turn their heads, and you see Mark Voigt go back, or John Voigt go back. He's like, we're going to be all right, buddy, or says that to Riley or something along those lines to him, because they know they fooled the guy. And it's good, I think, that they told him a lie that actually wasn't historically correct about the two lanterns instead of one. And he believes it just because, you know, he's not in it for the right reasons here. And because they were able to fool the guy, and they get to the rich stuff, as Mikey Walsh would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I love how, obviously, right when they say that, our girl butts in and goes, hey, but what are you talking about? And they're like, hey, well, we did that on purpose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you said, though, it is
Keep
nice
the status
just to
quo.
see. Yeah, keep the status quo.
Yeah.
And I loved how he was like, it's the lantern. And, you know, you see the Ian and all of them just get all like, he's giving us the details. And Ben's like, no. And they're just acting the whole thing out. It was funny. It really sold you in the moment. And then Abigail's like, no, it's two lanterns. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. I think let's get to our favorite scenes here. Let's start rolling on.
Let's do it.
You know, what we like most.
Well,
Mike,
I'll jump ahead of you. You didn't even say the score. The best part, I think, is when Ben's just distraught. He's like, where the hell is it? It's supposed to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
And, his dad goes, man, but the thing is, we're here and this is real. Whether or not the treasure's been taken or not, we are here and you found it. You got here. You made the impossible happen when so many others have failed, and this is amazing. And he says, well, I just wanted to find the treasure, or whatever he says. And he says, well, I guess we just keep looking for it then. And you hear that like kind of music going, and you're like, yeah.
We're in the presence of some of the greatest minds of history.
Yeah.
We're here because what they left you to find out, you figured out.
Right.
Paraphrasing, but
God, it's good.
So it's just, man, it pulls
best line of the movie.
At the theater, guys. Do you all remember? I remember, Griffin Little. We're looking at each other like, maybe they're not going to find us. Maybe this is going to be part 2 where they actually find it. And then he looks at the wall and then he says, "The secret. Is it that simple? The secret lies with Charlotte."
The Meerschaum pipe.
The Meerschaum pipe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that, guys.
Yeah, but Dad, tell me what you're thinking though when you see that face. When you see John Boyd's face after he says, "How will we just keep looking for it then?" And it shows like Ben, like, are you serious? And it goes back on his face, and he's serious as hell. What? Well, tell me what does that make you feel?
Well, Griffin, the whole movie, it's just another clue. He says that so many times. Well, it's just another clue.
But he's
that leads to another clue.
Oh yeah.
And then you see him. He sees his son that has worked so hard for this, and he finally goes, "That's my boy right there." And he's done. He tries to pick his boy up. I mean, that's what a father does. It's like you see your kid work that hard, you've got to pull him up. And John Boyd, Patrick in the movie, pulls him up, which is, again, you said the music. You're like, yeah, you're so excited.
Yeah. I think it is funny throughout that Patrick is acting like, he's like a crack addict too. Like, he wants back into it. He wants to come back because as soon as Ben comes up and, goes to the house after they've stolen the Declaration of Independence, he's talking to him and he acts like they're mad at first. He's mad at first, but immediately he's like, "You found the Charlotte? The treasure?" And then he's like, "Oh, just another clue." And then he kind of backs out. But then throughout it, he's like, "You're going to need..."
Was it a ship?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, yeah. My dad said it. Yeah, he's like, "Dad, we found it." And he goes, "Was it a ship?" All of a sudden, he just got so invested. It was so nice.
He reeled him right in.
It was so awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do our favorite scenes here, Mikey.
Guys, I have, this is in bold for me.
In bold. So it's that clear.
Oh,
wow.
Guys, the most important scene to me, and there's a bunch, but I love, and I've already said it, but I love the opening scene. I love Christopher Plummer. I love,
really?
It was 1832.
That's interesting.
Wow. Dad,
and he goes, and he starts telling about Thomas Gates. And then I knew that character. Yeah, I had seen him, but I could not. Oh my God, he was Hannah Montana. Oh my God.
Bucky
Dad, here, the thing, I mean, that's an amazing scene, but I'll never forget, as long as I live, how many times you've done that damn Nick Cage. I mean, Austin, when we were in Boston, he literally had a photo done of him doing it where we thought Nick Cage was. What we found out is they didn't actually film it at the Real North Church.
No, they did not. Because
talk about that, Dad.
Guys,
what?
Guys, oh my God. And I'm going to curse here. I was so pissed off. We're at North Church and I went, "Griff, you all got to get a picture of me." And I stand over right where he's at and there's no step. He's sitting up on these steps. There's not a step one. You remember that, Griff? There was not a step one.
Well, there wasn't even a building like what they were
guys,
showing.
I'm not picking up what part you're talking
right
about.
at the very end.
At the very end, when all of the cops roll up on Ian,
and they've caught Ian.
and they get him, and all of a sudden Nick walks out from the column like
Ian's looking at him like, I can't believe you ratted me out. And
when
he goes,
Kevin McAllister's him like in Home Alone at the end.
my dad loved that scene when he lifted his hands up like, sorry, bruh. My dad
taking him to the
that.
The other scene, and I'll tell you all this, I do it every single time that I see a camera's on me. I do it at McDonald's. I do it. I love the scene where he's going through the where they have the Declaration of Independence and they're cleaning it up and getting all the censors, and he goes Ben Gates, you're invisible, or he said something like, you're invisible.
Riley,
and Ben Gates goes, and he looks right, right at him. And I do that everywhere I go. When I see a camera, I go. And I still do it.
Well, God, Dad, you did it in one of these reels Austin just put out. He did it in one of those.
I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
Awesome.
I'm telling you guys, I love this movie. There's so many lines that we have to go over in this movie. Ben's grandfather, he says, and by the way, his name is John Adams Gates. And he says, a treasure of all treasures. Our founding fathers left clues, and he talks about the dollar bill, and he talks about all these clues, and then you see him telling the story, and you see Charles Carroll, the secret, that old bastard. They look like the secret lies with Charlotte.
What's funny is he's not
he's
that
got
much
drool
older than
hanging
John
out of his
Boyd.
mouth. With Charlotte. I just loved it, man. And then did you all see, speaking of that, did you all notice at the very end when Riley is saying, he's sitting in his Ferrari going 1%, a stinking 1%. And he says, I like the house. And he goes, did you know it's Charles Carroll? Ben says that it's Charles Carroll, something. He says that at the very end of the movie, guys.
Yeah, and Riley's like, oh, yeah, and just kind of brushes it off like it's nothing.
And then he couldn't even shift the gears. He didn't know how to drive.
I think it's funny how he says at the end, the next time we find the next great American treasure that changes everything, or whatever the hell, I'll let you make the percentages for the finder's fee, which, of course, in the next movie, they find this huge treasure. So I guess Riley gets to call it on
Well, the
that.
thing is, man, he's like, I got 1%, actually not even a full 1%. I mean, how much money do you think he got? I know at one point Ben was talking, I think to Sadusky, and he says, hey, it's a $10 billion treasure or something crazy like that. I mean, who knows? But
priceless.
I'll say this, man. Again, being older and actually seeing the treasure room, like you said, talk about priceless. I mean, you're seeing like freaking Pharaoh, what do you even call those damn things? Like these huge
what would they even,
it looked almost like it was jade.
Like sarcophagi, yeah. You're seeing these, Abigail is like, oh my God, it's scrolls from the Library of Alexandria, which is insane.
Down.
Yeah, but you're like looking down this whole thing and you're just like, oh my God. And at the beginning, when they're showing how it's gone through history, I picked up on how they say, hey, as it's passed through all these different hands over the centuries, it's been added to. So you have Roman spoils and all kinds of different things that are just part of this. And I mean, I don't know. I think just the absolute magnitude and craziness of it hit me harder than it ever had before.
Oh, yeah, man. And that's like, I really do get itched by the history bug here. And like, I wonder how many holes you could poke in the history. It's like, I'm not going to go back and touch on every little thing, but it's so good. It's so interesting and fun the way they tell the story in this, veneration for history. One thing that I thought was kind of dumb as shit is when they first get into the, under Parkington Lane, And they're like, how did they build this? And Nick Cage goes, oh, the same way they built the pyramids and the Great Wall of China. It's like, oh my, those are the call outs. And then Riley goes,
aliens.
The aliens built it. I thought that was one of the cornier kind of history calls back. I feel like most of the time it's done pretty well, but that one was like, those are the two things you called out there.
Right. Something you all are asking my favorite, other than that scene, my favorite scene would be Riley talking in Ben's ear as he's, as he's going to get the declaration. Scene. I mean, there's some cute lines. He says, he's walking in and he's getting out of the maintenance outfit and he's got his tuxedo underneath and he goes, how do you look?
Yeah.
And he goes, I think he says like,
not bad.
Not bad. And then he says, Mazel tov. It's like, he's just so cute. His lines, he's so witty and it's so quick.
Well, and he's so a freaking brainiac too.
Yes,
the fact that,
go ahead.
I mean, he talk about like an unsung hero. The fact that he was able to wire all that stuff up and
he is a great Robin to Ben Gates' Batman.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
He is a great counterpart. And I think it's funny they do those little goofy things where he obviously is the secondary character and he's kind of the butt of jokes. And he finally gets his that one time when he has the daylight saving time
Yes,
line.
he does.
But then they immediately take it back from him when he's like, oh, and do you know who first thought of it?
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. And he stomps away. But one of the best parts about that too, when he's in Ben's ear, is when he goes up and he's talking to Abigail. He's like, is that hot girl? He says that.
And he goes, how does she look?
Look, and Ben's obviously not responding to him, but I think that's kind of one of the funnier things. He's just having this conversation, this one-way conversation with him. And then the other guy walks up and he says, who's the stiff? It's just, those were the two lines that I probably laughed at the most. But I guess I'll transition into here my favorite scene. And
we haven't asked, Dad. We've just been running our yaps, man. We haven't even checked in with Ost.
Yeah.
That's all good, fellas. That's all good.
Oh, he's got a glass of wine. He's got a whole bottle over here.
Hey, what you drinking, by the way, Ost?
What are you drinking,
I'm drinking on a little Spanish wine. It is a, what is it? And also a Petit Verdot. It's a mix. It's 80%. I think it's Monastrell, something. I think that's what the grape is. It's nice dark fruit, got some manly essences to it, peppery spice, like a cigar box kind of thing.
A little bit of jerky in there?
Yeah, a little bit of jerky, and that's where you get some of that Petit Verdot. You got a Petit Syrah, so that's where you can liken those grapes, but no, it's all good. I haven't clinkied yet. It's only me drinking tonight, so I guess that's kind of the issue. But
you can still clink away.
Clinky.
Hey, Dad, what were your flavor notes on there? You get any good tasting notes?
I just throw out something stupid. Hey, it tastes like pear. Then you guys, hey, both of you all get so excited.
It really tastes like grapes.
Hey, the one time, what I say, pineapple. Both of you are like, yeah, it's pineapple.
God, that was great. That was
fun.
Yeah, there's never a wrong
Austin,
answer.
what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. I got a few I want to kind of run through.
Do it.
I really, 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 and this is probably my favorite scene, like when they get back and they're trying to tell the FBI that someone is going to steal the Declaration of Independence. They immediately get thrown out. And I think the lines throughout that are really funny because then they go and meet Abigail. And prior to that, there's that whole conversation of, we don't need someone who's crazy. We need someone right on the edge of it. What's that?
Yeah.
And he says,
that's nice.
Obsessed. And he says, passionate. And then you see, and this is another thing I didn't pick up on when I was younger, is that Abigail works for the National Archives, and that's kind of her thing. I didn't understand like her passion as much or really kind of grab onto that thing because obviously she's collected the pins from George Washington in his campaigns. So she's about it too. And during that scene, they're walking through it and how reluctant Ben Gates is to say the next line because he knows it's just so outlandish, and he beats around the bush so much in this scene where he's like, we believe that there's something on the back
cartography.
Oh, you mean a treasure map?
A treasure map.
It's like,
it's so cute. They really play well off each other.
It's like, I would know if there was a treasure map on the back of the Declaration of the Independence. I've seen it. It says da 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 da, and he's like, well, it's invisible.
I love it. I love how he's resigned. He goes, it's invisible.
Guys, it's the look that Riley gives him, like, don't do it. And then he does it, and he goes, and that's where we lost the FBI.
That's where we lost the FBI, and they say about the pipe. They're like, oh, but there's this pipe that led us to it. Oh, can I see the pipe? Well, we don't have it. Did Bigfoot take it?
I like how when she gives that line, Ben just stands up. All right, nice meeting. He just throws in the towel. It was great.
Guys, did you all catch it when she went later in the movie where they're in the van and he has to finally say that, hey, I am not Paul Brown. I'm Benjamin Gates. And she goes,
Mr. Brown.
She goes, you're that conspiracy theory family.
Yeah.
And the look he gives her of pure disgust. Like, again, it goes back to, family means everything to him. And he just gives her that eat, poop, and die look. Like, no, what we have are facts. And you can see he wants the debater right there.
Well, his family's been kind of a mockery in this field.
Yes, it has.
Ian briefly touches on that.
Well, there's a reason he wasn't using his real name, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. He's known for something. But even on the way out, I really like how he says, that is a really nice collection you have there. Must have took a lot of time to track down all that history.
How smooth was that when he polished that one up, the one she needed, and sends it with that handwritten note for the girl who has everything else.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's my favorite scene.
That's a good one. Austin.
It's kind of a, maybe under the radar scene, but I love the dialogue in it. It's real funny. It's goofy, and it's funny to just kind of see how they interact in the meeting of Abigail, who we know then becomes a very prominent character there. But the other ones that are really good, I love the high scala scene with those lines that Riley's spouting in his ear, and just the action of, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And he goes and takes it. And then,
well, and how intricate of a scheme do they pull off? I mean, you guys mentioned that Ian's crew just brutes, kind of busting down doors, going through like a freaking sewer system or something, if I'm not mistaken. And then they're literally peeling off damn fingerprints and stuff. Ben and Riley are coordinating this just mass heist. It's pretty brilliant.
But then the dumbass uses his credit card.
Well, he had to use.
You're on the grid.
$32.50.
You're on the grid.
He says that to Abigail at the end too. He's like, actually, I had to get 2 of them, so you owe me $35 in tax.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then I like when they go to Dad's house. They go back to Ben's house, and they're looking at the treasure map and everything. And then John Voight finally picks it up and it's like, this is the Declaration of Independence. He's like, now you pulled me in. Yeah. And then finally, of course, the treasure room when they finally get to money time.
Oh yeah.
But number one is the
payoff. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I keep interrupting y'all, but it's just, man, we keep talking about Patrick Gates here. I mean, God, the lines that he has, kind of the deadpan thing. We could say that he's playing the straight man, Dad. But, even from, what is it? You need heat. I told you need heat. Mm-hmm. And then we get Abigail and Ben going in, breathing on it to create that heat, seeing what's on the back. And that's that little tingly moment.
Steamy.
Yeah. He tied me to a chair, all of that silly stuff. And then, when you're talking about the treasure room, man, when he finally lets it all out and he just like hits Ben on the shoulder, he's so pumped up. He's like, oh, I don't even know what he says, but it's just so exciting. You're like, yeah, he did it.
It was almost like he came out of character, because I noticed that at the end. I went, man, John Voight looks like a crazy man at the end. He was so damn excited. I went, man, he almost came out of character. He was so excited.
What are the odds that they buy Patrick's story? The FBI, when they show up, honestly, how late they show up to that house too. It's like, oh, we're gonna go to Ben's house. Where's the next closest place he could go?
As he's sitting there with a drink in his hand, and I think they still had some food or something in the other hand. So yeah,
they stole my car.
Like a big
they stole my car.
All right, Griff, let's get your favorite scene. We need to get moving along here.
Yeah, I mean, man, I've been talking about all of these. I mean, I think
exactly. Yep.
I think my favorite scene. God, what have we not spoken about? I mean, I think that the little chase.
We haven't talked about Philadelphia very much, but
yeah, I was about to say the Liberty Bell. I think is really cool. I liked
Silence. I don't know. Good. We haven't talked
Silence Do Good. I like seeing more about. I like you get to see Abigail and Ben start to form more of their connection. You know, they're in that changing room in Philadelphia, and you know, then we find those spectacles and all of that stuff. There was a funny part, Austin, and this might be foreshadowing a movie we're gonna be reviewing. I like when he needs like Riley to hand him the damn glasses. He goes, spectacals? And he said it in the perfect way for the setup. And I was like, oh.
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
I loved it, man. But that whole chase scene, I think, is great when they're running from Ian's crew. We get the tension of, oh, God, they have the declaration now. And, you know, we kind of see Ben start working with the FBI and all that stuff to kind of nab this thing. But, I mean, I'm just blowing smoke now. I mean, I think my favorite scene has to be that then we'll just keep looking for it.
Yep.
When they think they're at the dead end, and you know, there's just that little glimmer of hope. It sparked me up. I think it brought tears to my eyes. It was so good.
Yep. Well, very good.
I have to agree.
It's a good movie, man. It's a fun one, and once again, much like the Goonies, and probably even more so than the Goonies, whole lot of holes you can bust in the logic and the believability of this one.
I mean, they stole the Declaration of Independence.
I mean, but guys, this movie, I would love to know how the tourism for Washington, D.C., for Boston, for Philadelphia increased after these movies. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. You know, I did it. I mean, Griffin and I were so excited to go see it. We couldn't wait to do this. We hit all the landmarks. Now, we still haven't done Philadelphia, which we will. But we did go, and we got to see the Declaration. We did a lot of traveling because of this. So, you know, and then we haven't talked about, you know, the second one, but there's a lot I'd like to do out there as well. And by the way, when we went out west, when we were in the Black Hills, that's where the second one was filmed. And they've got a monster sign that says, you know, National Treasure 2 was filmed here. We had to stop and get pictures, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I bet.
Through and through.
Let's get into our characters, fellas, and let's just rattle them on off. We're looking at 48 minutes right now.
Guys,
all right, Dad, who you got? You start us off.
Oh, my God. You
take it all.
Guys, I love Ben Gates. Just, you know, Austin, you nailed it on the head. Just the stern look that Ben had, and the pauses that he'll do. And, you know, you can call it overacting. Oh, yeah. It's Nick Cage.
He doesn't go too crazy in this movie. He does not act too crazy.
It's not he doesn't go face off.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't
talk about a good Nick Cage movie.
Oh my God, that and what's the one, Griffin? Father, what's the one where the Christmas movie?
Oh God, what? Family Man. Family Man.
That may be
great movie.
I may like that more than this one, by the way. But Nick Cage.
Keep talking about Ben Gates.
Ben Gates is my dude. There's so many scenes that he's he's so meticulous. You believe it, you buy
Brilliant.
it. And guys, I
love when he goes into that like calculator mode when he's just he's just processing it all, and he's just like
the love. I mean, the love that he has for history. And guys, I'm going to steal probably one of your all scenes, but guys,
we already did scenes, Mike.
When he leans back and Abigail's going, and they're going to go down that walkway, and he leans in and he's like, I might not be able to get another chance. And he leans in and he gives her a big kiss. I remember, I'm at the movie theater going, hell yeah, that's my boy.
What does he say? Come here. And just grabs her.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, come here. And he gives her, there it is. There's my scene.
The point.
Hey, was it just playing, Austin?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, Griff.
Well done.
Nice.
I wish. My wife goes, why in the hell do you do that? Every time I see a camera, I do that. So sorry, but I just love it. Guys, Ben Gates is my dude. I can go on and on and on. I'm so thrilled we did this movie.
Yes, sir. We'll be back for 2 at some point, which I actually, and this is not a popular opinion, I prefer the second. I do.
Well, that's fine. That's a good thing.
I'm sure it's fine, but I'm just saying it's not the popular opinion. Both, like I said, were box office successes. They blew it out of the water.
And people love these movies too. Like, I've always been amazed because I just kind of thought it was our family's type of thing. I was just like, my dad's obsessed with this movie, lo and behold. But like, man, I have met so many people who love National Treasure and who are just huge fans of the franchise and who wanted a third one. I know my dad was begging for a third one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still love to see one.
There's supposedly a TV show in the works with a younger crowd. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm into that. And nothing big has come from that in a little bit, but that has been kind of announced legitimately by Disney that there's a TV show that's, may or may not kind of happen. Kind of like the Goonies too, I guess, in a way.
Gotcha.
Your favorite character?
It depends on if Nicolas Cage needs some money. Okay.
Well, he just did that Long Legs movie. He's probably doing okay.
Smoked him.
I mean, and Griffin, I love that dude. Guys, by the way, he was in Louisville a few years ago. He was doing a movie.
He shot it at our high school. The movie was shot at St. X.
One of my good friends, one of my friends from college, he was on her street and she sent pictures of Nick Cage. And I told her, she's sitting there with her arm around him, and I went, son of a bitch. I mean, I love this guy. I said, is he there? Is there a chance I can meet him? I mean, I would have drove out there that second.
We'll have to do Kick-Ass sometime. That's a really, really good one. Really good one.
Crazy about this guy.
All right. And he acts his ass off in this one. But like we said, I think everyone does great. I mean, man, I'm going to take our boy Patrick Gates. I know I keep chatting him up, but I love his performance in this. I love his role. I think that, he's that little bit of reserve from, you know what, I'm not too hopeful. I've been burned by this. I'm not going to give it all I got. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch that change and to see the moments when, like you said, Austin, he's cranked up and he wants to help so bad, but he's got to keep up that little persona of, I'm not with this.
He treasure hunter too.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's eating it up, and I love to see that. I love to see it on his face when he gets surprised and when he can't resist. It's like, it's so good. Something else I have to mention in terms of scenes. I know I'm backtracking again, but someone's got to mention that scene when they're actually descending from having been in the Trinity Church, and they're in this crazy, what would you even call it? This crazy staircase and this little makeshift elevator with like over 200-year-old wood. And I mean, it's bizarre. A guy falls through the wood to his death, and I don't know. I had forgotten how just hectic
was that Shaw or Sean that fell? Who was
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yeah, I think
R.I.P. a bald brethren.
Yeah.
But that scene is bonkers, and I did not remember how crazy it was. But I mean, that's a great scene too.
Yeah. Speaking of
the music really
thing,
pulls you in on that.
That's a pretty rough kids movie death.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I was saying the same thing.
That was bad.
Oh, that's spooky. That is spooky. My favorite character, guys, and this is perfect how it worked out, is Riley.
Riley.
I
gotta
love Riley,
Poole.
man. He brings the comedy in this movie. He really does. His sidekick persona, I love his Robin character. I really do.
This is the second week in a row you've done this. We had Bjorn not 2 weeks in a row, but kind of the same deal with Bjorn
And
bringing
Austin,
the comedic relief.
I like Chunk.
Austin,
That's who it was.
you know what
Chunk.
movie that Riley Poole was in, right? And kind of in the same kind of
Hangover, right?
The Hangover.
He was in The
He
Hangover.
was the same kind of role.
Yeah. Goofy guy. We might not be able to have the TV on when we have video. This thing's going to be blasting us with light throughout the video.
But
whatever.
oh man, I love the movie, so I get to see it again.
Yeah, all good. Themes and things. I'll lead this one off, fellas. Some things that I had to kind of touch on here. Batman and Robin. I think that's a kind of really fun one in it. Old technology. Seeing like the old Yahoo searches and flip phones and all that just from our era.
My dad was doing the goggles.
I wouldn't even I was talking about kind of like the 2004 era technology that you're seeing in it. So that's goofy too. But some old tech, I guess that's a good call. That's quite old. I like the line with that. Now that you mentioned the goggles, we're like, oh, Benjamin Franklin made something like these. And Ben Gates goes, I think he made these.
I think he made these too.
Yeah, I think he made these. The score is great, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Treasure hunt, once again, and the clues, just following that kind of path and that hint. And then the Brits versus Americans. But the number one thing, man, and I'm stealing this one from you, Mike, history. History wins it for me. Woo! It's at the it's right there with the score. It's a part of the heartbeat of this movie, and the intrigue to it is these stories, the history, the family history of the Gates and their involvement with this treasure and their place in it. I mean, how absurd, maybe not absurd, but just crazy to think that their ancestor is the one that Carol tells about, the secret lies with Charlotte. And that's how this whole thing kicks off.
Started him on the path, man.
Exactly. And it's great. It's great stuff. So history's mine, fellas.
What about you, Dad?
I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but it's, every family wants a legacy.
Oh.
And the legacy of this movie is, just like Austin had mentioned earlier about, Abigail saying, oh, you're that conspiracy family, and Ben just took that to heart. You could just see just the knife that went through his heart, because it hurts, because he believes this so much. His father believed it. His grandfather believed it. His great grandfather, and then Thomas Gates. They all believe this story, and for someone to say that, it's so disheartening to him, and that's why that's why he did what he did in his life to get here, so he can go after this treasure. That's where Ian comes in, because he didn't have the money. He had to pull Ian in to help him. Yep, and he knew it. So
family legacy.
And how does the Gates family legacy end up?
They do pretty well. They get 1% of billions of dollars, but wasn't enough for Riley Poole, by the way.
Well, guys, our family legacy is going to be this Purple Podcast.
Absolutely, it is.
Riding it hard, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Believe it.
Griffin, come on, give me truth or trust. Give it to me, baby.
Well, you ruined my joke. I was about to take a second and then go, truth. That's what I was going to do.
Oh, you pissed him off, Mike.
Oh, man, I mean, I feel like Austin kind of ran through the list.
He killed it. Nice job.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have led, should I have?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if there's too much to add. How about I start a new one, Dad? Adventure. We got some adventure, man, just that gets you feeling crazy. You love it. It gets you all shaken up, and you just want to do something like that yourself. You want to get into some shenanigans with some people you care about and find something cool or do something cool. It's just exciting. And I think it's funny because you think of a treasure hunt or, finding treasure and you think of little kids, but then, you can kind of recontextualize it and just find so much joy in it no matter what age you are. And I think this movie is an amazing example of that, along with the Goonies, but that would be my theme.
That's a good one, fellas.
I think we asked this, or maybe I asked this earlier. What was the best line in this movie?
Well, I think we there's so many good ones. I like the funny ones, but the one that, Griffin, you called out there is really good, where he's like, well, then we're just going to keep looking for it. Yeah. And I think that just kind of embodies the spirit of what it's all about here. These guys that have such an admiration and respect for history, their family history. And that's why, that's why they find the treasure in the end, because they're true to it. They know the story. They know the history. Ian doesn't. His dumbass goes to Boston, and gets fucking caught and ends up in the clink. Yeah. These guys know the history. They love it. And even when it comes down to it and they do get the money, they can call 10% if they want. They dial it back to 1%. And sure, they're doing fine. They're all right. But the fact that they did that does speak volumes too. So I think that's the good stuff.
Guys, I got to give you all a couple of them. Again, I'm stealing the show tonight. I'm sorry, but I love this one. Guys, Nicolas Cage says, he looks at Riley and he says, there's another way through the treasure room. And he looks like, oh, that, we're going through the treasure room. And that's when they walk in that room and it's not there. That was that was kind of a stunner. And Ben says the Declaration of Independence isn't a bargaining chip to Sandusky. Then we find out, we didn't mention this, but Sandusky is a Mason. And Sandusky looks at him and he says, they're talking about, how much this is worth. We talked about the billions of dollars. And he says, we give bits and pieces to the people. Sandusky says, I thought that was kind of cool.
I got a question for you, Mike. Does that right there have an N in it?
Oh, he did it!
Oh, I've been saying Sandusky.
You got toasted, man.
Oh, man. Well, you just ruined that for me. Okay. Sandusky says someone's got to go to prison, Ben. And Ben says, if you have a helicopter, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Damn.
I really don't want to go to prison.
I would love not to go to prison.
I really don't want to go.
Oh, damn it, Austin.
Well, it had to happen. You said it so many. You said it 5 times.
I've been talking all night. I deserve to get kicked in the shorties.
That's fair. That's how it goes. And, that's probably going to find its way onto a clip.
One more line, Dad. What's your favorite line?
I don't know if he has one, Griff.
Let me see.
I don't particularly have that one.
No, I there's some lines. I think Riley has some really cute lines. I said it earlier. How do you look? And he says, I think I look good. And he goes, Mazel tov. That one just kind of made me laugh. I really like that line.
Well, what about when Ben is talking to him and this, we're going to get out of here after this one, but Ben's talking to Stan and Abigail. He's like, to whatever it like something.
Treason. To treason. Because that's what these men were committing.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. To high something, or what is that what it is?
High treason.
High treason.
Hey, Dad, what's he say was his favorite part?
And burned, his integrals burned,
That's what it is.
And my personal favorite, burned.
Yeah.
And they had their intros taken out and burned.
Yeah. The look he gives her, and she's like, holy shit.
And he just throws the champagne back.
Then he slams it.
That's great.
Oh,
that is awesome, man.
Well, all right, guys, let's get on out of here. We've had a lot of fun. It's been a blast. Once again, just an amazing movie to watch through. And, just, fuck, I can't hear you, Griff. My earbuds came out. Someone take me.
I got her. Yeah. Poor thing.
Well,
hey, Griff.
He's all right.
I'm back now. But, yeah, what an amazing movie. We got another Another one of ours that we love in this little group, the Sad Sacks really love to love, that being Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Oh, my Lord.
That's what's up next, gang.
He's the man for you.
Baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Oh man, we're gonna have a lot of ad libs in this next episode. That's
gonna be bad, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. We're gonna have to contain ourselves.
Well, Austin, another great episode. Appreciate all you guys listening.
Absolutely.
You know, we're having so much fun out here, and you know, it's just been really exciting. I'm so glad that we're 10 episodes in, Austin. I think it's awesome, and appreciate you fronting this thing, man.
Yes, sir. It looks like our video's still rolling too.
How
my
about
God.
that?
Excuse me. Clinkies.
Great.
There he is.
Guys, this has been a fun break through the week. I like doing this. We've done this one on Wednesday. We did one on Thursday. So great time, Austin. Thanks again for having me. Sorry I was long-winded today, guys.
That's all right. We cannot figure out how to keep this under an hour. We just love ourselves a little too much, but that's all right. For those of you, once again, like Griffin said, that are still listening back home, you are the real ones. We appreciate you wholeheartedly. We love you like Ben Gates loves history. We'll be back next week talking to you soon. Bye-bye.